All right, so I am proofreading my book, which I finished. I'm just proofreading it now. It's not finished because it's just in a rough draft. But I'm done. I just got to proofread it and then edit it and then get it out there. But I am in the second part on Jesus, and I was reading. He became a man, and not just any man, but born to a stonemason and a virgin mother inside of basically a barn or a cave, and his crib was a feeding trough. As a man, he had no place to call home, even though he was God and a king. No, instead, he wandered around the land of Israel, moving from house to house, eating fresh from the fields. He went to the people, and he could have stayed in a great house as a king and have had the people come to him. All right, so he had no place to call his own. He said, if you remember, he says, the birds of the field have their nests, and the foxes have their den, but the Son of Man has no place to rest his head. So that reminded me, if you've taken my advice and watched the YouTube video Torah Parashah Bereshit, um, uh, on here. It's just a really good video. They mention that I think it was in that video, or alternate media also does it on TikTok. Alternate media Brad might have been on there too. I don't remember quite where, but Jesus was born on the first day of Sukkot, the first day of the Feast of Harvest, the Feast of Tabernacles. God tabernacled with man. All right. Now, going back thousands of years to the Exodus. All right. The Exodus. Because we see that reappearing all throughout Scripture. God is a God of patterns. Okay? He's a God of patterns. All right. So, the tabernacle, the holy tabernacle, right? He dwelt in a tabernacle, the Holy of Holies, the Ark of the Covenant, in a tabernacle, and wandered around, right? And even in the land of Israel, it would wander around, right, until it had a house to stay in Israel, and where Solomon built that house to the exact specifications as prescribed by God to build it to, that he gave to David to give to Solomon to build to those exact specifications, if I'm remembering that right. So, we see the similarities here. All right? God, Jesus, the Holy of Holies, tabernacle, dwelling among men. Jesus dwelt among men, tabernacled with men, went around, did his work the same way that the original tabernacle, the Holy of Holies, the Ark of the Covenant, did back during the Exodus. We see it going on it right again when God became flesh and Jesus wandered around doing his ministry. We see the same repeat. Isn't that awesome? That's more proof that Jesus was God. Right? He was the Holy of Holies. And that's the great thing too, that because people assume that he was born December 25th, but no, because the greater Christmas story, the one that makes more sense and follows the pattern of God, is him being born during Sukkot, when he tabernacled with man during a Feast of Tabernacles. conceived during Hanukkah. Dude, how great, how awesome, how amazing is our God. It is so